What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Saturday night. If you're listening to me, your night's probably not going fantastic. But uh, I'm gonna do my best to make it a little bit better for you in the next hour or so, I guess. I am Tristan Wright. Sunday morning, huh? Wow. What time is it over there? I'm curious. It's crazy that it's. I can't believe it's Sunday morning over there. What up, JD? Four, 14-kilometer run. Wow. Nice. Yeah, dude, I've been slipping on my cardio, man. Like, I haven't been doing much cardio at all. I've been doing a lot of lifting, but I have not been doing much cardio. Uh, yeah, so, okay, it's 11 a.m. Wow. Like, it's almost Sunday afternoon over there. That's wild. Blows my mind, man. So, yeah. So, yeah. Speaking of which, it was pretty awesome. Like as a lot of you guys know, you know that I work at a fitness club. I really like my job a lot. It pays terribly, but fairly. It pays fairly, but it's not a lot of money because it's not hard work at all. And since exercise is really important to me right now. Um, it's pretty much all I do with my free time for the most part. So I absolutely love that I get to use those facilities to my benefit. And it's I do the best I can to take full advantage. um, and it was really cool too because today I was there. Today I was at work and I was uh, I was having a really I was feeling really full because I ate like a really big breakfast. Um, and I'm trying to eat as much protein as I can. And I did I ate like 6 eggs and like a bunch of slices of like turkey and ham, right? And like like a fucking savage, I use the turkey and the ham to like sop up the yolk and eat that shit, which is not really that good because it's almost all cholesterol. The yolk is really not. What's up, just a mama? Yeah, it's all pretty much just cholesterol, so it's not exactly good for you. But I like I like getting all that protein, and it's really cheap. Because again, like I said, I don't make a lot of money. I make very little, as a matter of fact. But I enjoy the food. I enjoy the little bit. I make the best of what I can afford to eat. Because I'm actually an okay cook. But what up, Jeremy? Um, so yeah, I so it was really cool because I went to my job to work out today, and I wasn't feeling it, too much. I was still feeling really full. I probably should have waited till after I worked out to eat. But if I would have done that, then I probably wouldn't have had. Yeah, canned tuna is a really good source of protein. I get sick of that really fast. I can find all kinds of different ways to make eggs. Um, no, there's a reason why I'm not on camera when I do this, JD. uh, but yeah, I so I'm there, and I'm just kind of getting my head right for it, and I'm standing there at the smoothie bar. I'm talking to my coworkers, and my one of my managers who has lately been working at another location, I guess because they're short people, whatever the reason may be. He's had to work a lot at another location. And I see him and I'm like, yo, what's up? I haven't seen you in forever, I feel like, And he's and he's like, yo, he's like, I gotta tell you guys, he's a really, he's one of the lead sales guys, so he's really animated, and he's really extroverted, and he's really funny, but he was just really, really passionate about what he was saying, and he went out of his way to be like, listen, I gotta tell you all right now, you guys are the best front desk staff ever. He's like, if I have ever taken you for granted, I apologize. He's like, seeing how these other locations work, and working with you guys is amazing, and that meant a lot, because I'm a firm believer, and I wasn't always like this, but I'm a really firm believer that no matter what it is that you do for a living, you should take pride in it. Hey, Catherine, how are you? Um, I think whatever it is that you do for a living, uh, you should take pride in it. Absolutely take pride of it. If I'm scrubbing toilets, you can bet that those toilets are gonna be like mirrors. You know what I'm saying? Like that's no matter what it is that you do, you know, you gotta take pride in it. You gotta own it and love it. Because the fact of the matter is you can kind of get a job pretty much doing anything you want. You may have to work hard to get there, and you may have to, go to school and get an education. But the bottom line is, people don't really think of it from that perspective. But you can really, literally do anything that you want. If you want to do something bad enough. So, at the very least, it just makes sense to, at the very least to me, it makes sense to find something that you at least like. There's no reason to do a job that you hate. Sometimes, you got to make ends meet. Like I did that. I did that for most of my life. You got to make ends meet, and there's certain expenses that you have, like kids. And you got to work jobs that you fucking hate. But if you find yourself in a position where you really don't have to, unless you have, unless you think that you're the luxuries that you're spoiled by are actually needs and not just wants, then uh, then yeah, Tristan, absolutely. If you're a hooker, you should be like the dopest hooker. Yeah, fuck yeah. If somebody's paying for sex, you want them like anything else. If that's a product and it's a service, you want to make yourself be the best possible option as far as that service goes. Absolutely. 100%. So, yes, you should absolutely fuck like a champ. To say the least, if you're a hooker. Absolutely. But I'm saying, you know, for me to now, kids being grown up, no longer my responsibility financially. It's nice to have a job and have very little expenses and be okay with it because I like my job. Liking my job makes not having things that I've had before, things that I don't miss that much. Um, and it's I have what I need, and yet I have a job that I really really like, and it's very very it's definitely not something to be taken for granted. Yeah, Pouty Gorilla. What's up, Don? Pouty Gorilla. Hey, Wine Snob. What's up? Pouty Gorilla. I totally agree with you. Yeah. And and the thing about that is, you know, take into consideration how much time you spend at a full time job, right? How much fucking time do you spend at a full time job? It's most of your life. You wake up in the morning, you try to sleep as much as you can until the very minute that you could get away with to not being late to getting to your job. So you're cramming very little time for yourself between waking up and getting to work, right? And then you get to work, and then that's 8 hours right there. You get out of work, you're wired and excited to be off work, so you'll do whatever it is that you do. You know, even if it's just sitting at home and watching TV, but you're only doing that for just a few hours, tops, before you got to get enough sleep to be able to get up and go to that job again, just so that you can sit on your couch and have those few hours of peace. So, logic to me dictates that you hate if you're hating fucking life during that time that you wake up to the time that you punch out from your job, which is a good 9-10 hours at least. Hey, Save Robbie. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're feeling bad, man. I caught a little bit of your live. I didn't catch it live. I had to watch the replay, but I didn't have time to finish watching it. But um, yeah, you were talking about anxiety and depression, and I was really interested. I had other shit going on. I never got to finish it, but I'll probably end up finishing it. I actually have a lot of opinions on that stuff myself, and I tend to share my experiences with that stuff here too. So good for you for talking about that. Um, I really appreciate it personally. But I do hope you feel better. Um, so yeah, to me it makes perfect sense that, I mean, if you're spending the majority of your time working a job that you hate, then you're spending the majority of your day completely fucking miserable. So you're it's safe to say that it's safe to define you as an unhappy person. It's safe to do that. So fuck that. Yeah, yeah. That could eat a dick. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. I seriously just want to I just want to enjoy what I do. You know, they and I had a girlfriend once, and she was raised by her dad, you know, and just old school Cuban guy. And and he would say that. He would say, if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. So so to hear to hear someone say that, because I'm in a position of leadership there, um, and I have to lead the night crew, um, and and I have to train a lot of people too, and that's a reflection on me when the people in a position of leadership above me make that point to passionately acknowledge the results of my efforts. Shit, man, that's a hell of a good day, especially on my day off. I went in there just to work out, and then you know, I get to hear that. That's fantastic. Keep that shit up, Jay. Keep it up. No, hey, listen, Jay, while you're here, that's I'm glad you're here, man. I was totally going to let everybody know who isn't already subscribed to Jay. If you're true crime aficionados, I'm really excited about what she's got going on tonight, actually, because I haven't been following. She's doing the Patrick Frazee thing, and supposedly she's gonna have somebody on that that has been at the trial, and that's pretty fucking amazing. And this Patrick Frazee case is fucked up. Um, and this guy's a special kind of shitbag, man, for real. Like, I hope he fries. And I haven't been following the trial, but I'm aware of what happened, and it's really fucked up, and it's a crazy dramatic trial too. And I'm surprised nobody's talking about it. People are still talking about fucking Chris Watts, but you know, this is something that I think is going to be pretty fucking amazing. So I'm definitely going to be in that chat. So. So anybody here, check out that chat. I'm gonna be all up in there asking all kinds of questions. um, so sorry, I'm just looking over the chat here. Jay does have the best radio voice on YouTube, Robbie. I totally agree. Yeah, that's yeah. Hold on, let me read. So, Catherine, you said you told your daughter that you would help her through college if that's what she needed in order to get a job doing something she loves and wants to do. It took you years to find a job you liked. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I was always of the frame of thinking that I had to do some shitty job, you know, in order to make a certain amount of money. And that's true. A lot of the times you do. Sometimes if you don't have an education, you're just going to have to settle for some hard bust ass shitty dealing with shitty people work. It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? If you lack the education, you know, in order to make ends meet, in order to pay for an apartment, in order to pay for food and clothes for you and yours is back, then you know you're gonna have to eat the dick on a job sometimes, and it just is what it is. Um, but at the same time, if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of, if you're somebody who doesn't have, you know, a lot of real expenses, expenses that you don't need, you know, you could still find a job that's nice and easy. It may not pay as much, but it makes up for, in my opinion, that the lack of money makes up for the. It's almost like you're financially paying for the lack of having, you know, shackles on you of a job that you just can't fucking stand. You know, dealing with people that you can't fucking stand, dealing with a boss that you can't fucking stand. You know, so it's and you can always work your way up from a job like that. Hey, Mignon, what's up, pretty peaches? Yeah, so I'm yeah, I think that happiness is truly what matters. Happiness is absolutely what matters. I remember I got passed up. I've talked about this in my lives before, and I've there were two opportunities that came up, and one was for uh, a supervisor position, and I interviewed for it, and I murdered that interview. Like they loved me, they absolutely loved me. But the thing was, is there was somebody else who had already kind of done the work, and I didn't even know that he was throwing his hat in the ring. I was told he didn't want the position, so that's why I went for it. But it turned out he did want the position, and he managed to work something out with them, and that he ended up in the position. And this was months and months ago. So this guy has built a solid team, and he has led this team solidly. So I'm proud to work under him. He has proven to be the best man for the job. I think I would have done just as good of a job, maybe, so, possibly, but actually, maybe not. That's actually really cocky of me to say so. I take that back. The reason why I can't say that is because he knows that position front to back more than I do. And he's definitely more qualified in that sense. I just happen to have more experience in management than he does. But his experience there and having the kind of work ethic that he has and having the kind of natural leadership qualities that he has proved to be more than enough for him to be able to perform those duties and execute that job. And I'm happy to work under him. Um, so I'm really lucky in that sense. and it was cool, and for him to tell me, hey, I'm going to count on you. You're the closer. You're the most experienced. I'm going to count on you to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing, and we execute policy as best as possible. Blah 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 blah. Absolutely, this guy totally earned my respect because of how his job performance is, and how he chooses his style of leadership, his fashion of leadership. To me, is inspiring, and it makes me want to work harder. So I'm happy to do the things that he needs me to do. As long as you lead by example with me, and you have at least my work ethic, then I'm going to respect you as my superior. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. That's how I'm going to see you. So, yeah, Mignon, happiness is definitely paramount. Oh, I didn't get to say bye to Jay. Bye, Jay. But I will see you there. Unless she didn't leave, unless she's just telling people that that's what time. Okay. Thanks, Robbie. Appreciate that. Yeah, and that's another thing. Dude, I totally don't fit in at all with my coworkers, which is really funny. Like I do in my own weird little kind of awkward way. Like they like me, and I like them. I'm really silly. They can count on me to make them laugh at my own expense. You know, I'm totally old guy there. You know what I mean? They're a lot of them. They're in college. I've told you about the girl who's studying criminal justice, and we talk a lot. And they kind of look to me from time to time for you know for wisdom. Wisdom, gained through experience of making bad decisions, and I'm okay with that. And we have a nice little thing. Um, so I really, yeah, I love that, and I love making them laugh, and I love when they make each other laugh and make me laugh, and we just have a blast. We have a blast. It's totally fun. It's a totally fun work environment. Hey, Doodlebug, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. But yeah. So I find myself a lot. Uh, as you guys know, I make it a point to uh, take inventory on the things that I'm grateful for, and today that was something that really shined. Usually, at least every day, at least there's something where and that's something I'm super grateful for. Is that every day there's always something that I sit there and I go, man, that is fucking awesome. That was so fucking cool. And that happens, man. That happened today, and I love that I get to come on here and share that shit with you guys. Um, and yeah, Jay's lurking. Jay's lurking. Yeah. Oh, and another. I also, guys. I had my first troll that I've had in a long time, dude. Um, I had my first troll leave a comment in last night's live, and not in the live chat. They left it today, but it was really funny to me because um, it it I know like the affiliation of where that troll comes from, and I know. I don't know who it is exactly. I have people that I could guess who it is, but it was really funny to me because they were very, very obvious. And and they probably think that I think that they're someone else, but I happen to know. I just know. Um, so it's funny when that happens, you know. Um, it's quite funny when that happens. And here's the thing, I almost welcome trolls. Dude, if you can crank call me and get me, much respect. Much respect. But the problem is most trolls are like bad crank callers, and they, they're not very creative, and they're not very good at what they do. And it's just funny. uh, you know it's like they're like that person that calls your job and goes, yeah, can I talk to asshole? And then they just don't expect you to go speaking, and then they go and then hang up because I mean, it's if you're gonna troll me, come on, man, bring your game, bring your fucking game, dude. Like it's it's all good. I'm not gonna be mad at you. I'm not gonna be mad at you. But it was a fun thing. It was a fun thing because the comment, it was it was overwhelmingly clear that the person who was trolling me was following my moves very closely. They were they were they were they were very, 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 very aware of everything that I seem to do on here. Um, so for the most part, I was actually flattered. So it's nice, you know. So whoever that troll was, they're a fan. Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate you listening. Yeah, I'm not gonna discuss who I what little circle I think that came from, but it was fun. It kind of made my day a little bit too. So um, it was last night's live. I think I called it "Stop Feeding the Monster." Like it's funny. I I shit you not. Sometimes, most of the time, I go on here and I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to talk about, and they make you create a title. They make you create a title for each live, and I'm like, fuck, and I have to just sit there and think about it. So I don't even know why the word smooth came into mind. Like the word smooth came into mind, and then I just decided to write smooth. So that's the title of this live. Smooth. For absolutely no fucking reason whatsoever. It's like the way it sounds. Right, right, Robbie. It's funny. I'd have to say that I agree with you in that sense. It blows my mind that people intentionally want to trigger others. And I want to elaborate on that thought because it does blow my mind. But what it used to do was irritate me. But I don't allow that to happen anymore. I honestly don't allow that to happen anymore. Because the only way they win is if I become triggered. It's the only way they win is if I become triggered. So I'm not going to become triggered, I find I find it to be a patronizing insult to describe someone as triggered. I think it's always funny. I look down on those who describe themselves as triggered. I I look at them as tiny beings. Move away. Move away, tiny being. So yeah, I turn my nose up at those who consider themselves to be triggered. It's a ridiculous word. And Doodlebug, see, I'm not gonna love bomb them either because I don't love them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna do that either. There's that whole kill them with kindness, and that's either genuine or it's passive aggressive as well, and it's perpetuating the cycle. So, um, I I I'm not going to, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Robbie. You saying good, that means you're growing a thicker skin and starving them with what they feed off of. Chaos, exactly. Yeah, I've, I'm gonna tell you guys something, and I'm not gonna get too deep into it because I don't like to talk about events, personal events that are very personal to me too much. I don't like to do that, but like I like to talk about my everyday things. There's things I pick and choose that I feel comfortable talking with you guys about. Um, but I will say this much about something that I'm not very comfortable discussing too much about. But I have, I have, I have battled and warred and gone to war with one of the most psychotic and stubborn minds and personalities that I have ever seen, whether it be fictitious or in real life. This is a person that caused a great deal of distraught to my loved ones, and I've battled and gone to war with this person, and I came out on top, and I won. Um, so you know what it's like dealing with people who are like this, the way that you described, Robbie. Dealing with people like everyday people like that is like Rocky fighting basically anybody after Ivan Drago in Rocky 4. Easy. Like it's nothing. Like please, dude, I fought Drago. I fought and I knocked out Drago. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. This that shit is a joke to me. That shit is a joke to me. And that's the thing is I can be petty and I can be childish, and I'm really good at being petty and childish. I just find it boring. I don't find it to be productive. So, but I can be, and if I choose to, and if I feel like it, I might just end up and just get a wild hair up my ass and decide to be petty and childish too, just to prove that I can do it better. I might, or I might just ignore you, you know. But um, it's a fascinating thing, and this is something that I've said before, and I'll say again. Um, Ever since I have started applying the Glera principle to my everyday decision making, gratitude, logic, awareness, acceptance, accountability, rationality, empathy, and resilience. Ever since I started doing that and applying those things to my everyday life, um, my environment has improved. And rationality being one of those things, the most fascinating thing that I've realized about making a conscious effort to always be rational is the irrational people in your life, you don't have to remove them from your life. They will remove themselves. And that is fascinating to me. I always, every time it happens, I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking amazing. There it goes again. I didn't even have to do jack shit for this person to be like, you know what, fuck this person, because I gave them nothing more to feed off of me. Rationality, to me, rationality is it feeds, or I'm sorry, irrationality feeds off of other irrationality. What happens with irrational people is they thrive on dragging you to being as irrational as they are so that they can gaslight you and they can project and not have to take accountability for their own actions. That is exactly the MO of an irrational person. So, as long as you don't become irrational, they get nothing from you. They naturally gravitate away from you and onto something else. And I fucking love that shit. I fucking eat that shit up every time that happens. And it happens so, it doesn't happen too often. Because I'm also pretty good about just, that person's probably irrational and it's probably best to just avoid them altogether. But sometimes people, right, Robbie, yeah, dude, I'm right there with you, my man. I am right there with you, dude. Well, see, they're not crazy makers, Red Raven Spirit. They're not crazy makers. They feed off they feed off believing that they are crazy makers, of having that power that they drove someone crazy. They feed off of that. But if you don't let yourself get to that point, then they got nothing. They got nothing from you. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Seraphin? How you doing? Hey, Johnny Cuddy. Oh yeah, thanks for the likes support there, Robbie. Yeah, so I'm yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Um, and I don't take pleasure off of seeing somebody suffer because yeah, if you're an irrational person, you're suffering from irrationality. It's like a condition. You know what I'm saying? So you're suffering from it. Like I refuse to I refuse to say that I'm suffering from depression or anxiety. I choose to say that I'm struggling with it because suffering from it means that it's winning, and currently it's not winning. So I will honestly I'll be aware enough to acknowledge the fact, self-aware enough to acknowledge the fact that I do struggle with it. There are times it just fucking happens, man. Like I just it for absolutely no reason whatsoever, for absolutely no reason at all, I will just my heart starts beating real fast. I just kind of shut down. I start to feel scared for absolutely no reason. There's nothing in particular on my mind that's causing this to happen. And 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 then I just kind of tell myself, "Hey man, it's not that serious. There's like seriously, there's nothing going through your head right now to cause you to feel like this. So it's nothing. Don't let it, It's nothing. It's not it's just something that happens in your head and you just got to get past it and move on about your day. And it's not an easy thing to do, but it becomes second nature when you get used to doing it. You do get used to doing it, but it's never actually easy. You just kind of get used to to managing yourself. Yeah, just a mama. That's true. I mean, they just want to wind you up and watch you go. But it's and I'm telling you, 100% of the time, it's by people who get wound up and they go. And then for whatever reason they feel stupid or silly about it, so their way of justifying their own irrational behavior is to try to manipulate others to be as irrational as they are. And the funny thing is you could have someone who does this, and you could put them. Hey, what's up, AJ? You could put these people after totally proving to them that this is exactly what they're doing and what they're about. You know that this is exactly what what bullshit they're on, and then put them on a lie detector, on a polygraph, and they'll pass. When you tell them, hey, are you aware that that this is your behavioral pattern? They're gonna be like, no, and then they'll somehow justify it in their head that it's you, not them, and they'll pass on the lie detector. They'll totally fucking pass because they believe that shit. Oh, a lot of people fall for that type of behavior, Seraphin. That's the issue. I used to be one of those people. I absolutely used to be one of those people. Um, I'm not proud of it, but I am damn proud of the fact that I'm not one of those people anymore. So it's yeah, you right. It's definitely a misery loves company thing, just a mama. So I find that sort of thing funny. I find that sort of thing funny. So I had, so I had a nice day, to be honest. I had a nice day. So so the most negative thing, even, like, I could even find the positive in. Like, yeah, Mary Marlowe dropped another video today, and I had a nice laugh at that. It was funny to me. She she was talking about uh yeah, I realized today that not only does she think that Nicole Kessinger is the mastermind behind these murders, but she believes that many different employees from Anadarko uh, conspired to kill Shanann, Bella, and Cece and Nico, and put them in and dispose of the bodies. That there was a huge conspiracy between a bunch of Anadarko employees, Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger, and I laughed like a fucking maniac when I heard that. and I yeah. So she's not failing to disappoint. It's yeah. It was um so Robbie, I don't know if you follow the Watts case, but she's the oh, okay. You're being sarcastic. You got me, you motherfucker. Okay. Never mind. So I that that's what makes her interesting to watch, Tristan. That's why I'm sucked into her channel and I'm subscribed to it, because I'm trying to catch the pattern of thinking that leads her to this. I'm trying to, and she tries to explain it, just none of it connects. It's really really funny. It's like yeah, it's really funny. It's like you know what it's like? It's like watching like a special needs child. Uh, let's say a blind child. It's like watching a blind child, uh, and you say, hey, put together this puzzle as best as you can, and then, not even like a complicated jigsaw puzzle, just the big pieces, whatever, and the blind kid just forces a bunch of pieces together, and then wants congratulations for it, and is like, ta-da, I did it, and then you're just kind of like, no, that's nope, that's that's not right, nope. um because the pieces just don't fit, and she is, you know, cracky wacky. She like was talking about one thing, and then she started talking about her sideburns, and then went into something else, and it was like, whoa. You did the Mommy Ramblings road trip. Okay. Uh, wow. Um, yeah. So that's what's funny is there's nothing new about the Watts case that interests me. There's really nothing new about it that interests me, but that and for so when I hear people who are actually intelligent and coherent um, talk about new things, I don't take interest in it because I'm a firm believer that the case is closed. But those kind of theories, those wacky, crazy, fucked up theories that she was talking about, and what she puts together in her own head to get there is just good television to me. That's funny as shit to me. So I can't watch it. I like watching train wrecks. I'm that guy that sits there at work with a coworker and watches like car accident YouTube videos. We just watch like you fucking idiot and watch people, like traffic cams and shit like that. But yeah, so um yes, I can't I have a good time watching her channel because like and it's still like and there's a part of me that gets a thrill, like the same part of me that gets a thrill from a roller coaster is the same part or gets a thrill from a horror movie, uh gets a thrill when she like talks really loud and she's like, it's on the air with Mary Marlowe, and it's like super fucking dramatic and loud, and it's like, oh, it's really uncomfortable too, because you could just sense her crazy cracky energy, and I get kind of like, oh, when she does it, but I can't like not do it because I feel the same way when I watch, uh, you know, Anthony Perkins in Psycho. It's like the same. It's like the same vibe. so, so yeah, it's really funny to me. Um, yeah, and you're right, Red Raven Spirit. Her theories are slanderous. You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you how she gets away with it. She gets away with it because she's not credible in the slightest bit at all. There's nothing about Mary Marlowe that screams credibility. Nothing. Zero. Not one shred of her, not one hair on her head screams out credibility. Nothing. So no one, there's nobody that's going to take her seriously. Yeah, it's totally slanderous, but it's coming from where? You know what I'm saying? Like look where it's coming from. Nobody's taking her seriously. Nobody that matters anyway. Yeah. So yeah, it's like watching a crazy fucking train wreck. Um, Definitely cringeworthy. Yes, definitely cringeworthy. Yeah, the weather won't make its fucking mind up here either. it's yeah, it was like 30 the other night, and now it's like 60, and it's whatever. As long as it's not raining. I hate rainy days. They bum me out. I like sunny days. See, I used to feel that way, just a mama. You're saying I can't pay attention to anything she says. I keep wondering if she will ever stop doing her makeup in the dark closet. I used to feel that way about about the uh, you know about the things that she says, and I just can't pay attention to it. Like I have to turn it off after a while. That actually happened today. Like I was listening to a little bit of it, and I had to fucking shut it off. Um, and it, yeah, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And her videos are short, man. Like mine are usually at least an hour long, right? Mine are usually at least an hour long. And it blows my mind. I blow my own mind that I actually have the balls to sit here and think that anybody wants to listen to me for a fucking hour. But her videos are like 20 minutes and they're too long. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't with this lady, dude." Yeah, I mean, I think the Watts. I don't know. I'm sure it could. You're saying that the Watts house, Robbie. You're saying the Watts house should be knocked down. The place gives you the creeps. I disagree with that. Um, I disagree with that. Uh, I think better use could be made of it. Maybe, possibly. Um, it just seems like a waste to knock down such a beautiful house. But at the same time, what's funny is it's not even it's our fault. It's our fault that the house is so creepy because we've drawn so much attention to it. You know, everybody's drawn so much attention to it. I'm drawing attention to it right now talking about it. Yeah, the lipstick, man. Like, yeah, why does she look like a victim of death by Smilex gas? Why? Like I swear I saw her in 1989 Batman uh, with Michael Keaton. As a Joker victim. I swear. Save Robbie. I don't think I I think that's really cool that you see it that way, Robbie. You're saying you don't watch Mary Marlowe, but you think she's pretty. She looks like the actress Kathy Moriarty. You're right. On the surface, she's very pretty, but there's something about the way that she sees herself and how she puts on her makeup that people are taking jabs at her appearance. Um, I'm taking jabs at her appearance because it's a reflection of how she sees and treats herself. She's clearly got a drug problem, and and she's old enough now to where she should be able to have seen what the effects of her drug use have done to her life, and she needs to stop doing it. And since she chooses not to, then I choose to poke fun at it because fuck you, like you're on YouTube and you have thousands of subscribers and you're irresponsibly spreading lies about people. So I'm going to discredit you, and I'm going to do that by poking fun at you because that's the power I have with my channel. Yeah, yeah. She is physically pretty. She just chooses not to show that side of herself, and it's almost at a subconscious level, and it's sad. It's sad. Right, Doodlebug. That's what I'm talking about. You're saying you watched her for a while and she was pretty in the beginning, but then she went mad and you can see it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's yeah. See, I I can spot crazy. You know, like I can fucking see it. It's in the eyes, man. It is in the eyes. Do I believe that she accidentally decked her channel? Right. Yeah. Supposedly she was a radio DJ like during the hair metal band days. And I mean, and it would make sense that if you're a pretty woman and around all that shit, you're going to indulge in some substances, but you know, it's got to, that lifestyle's got to die out when when that that lifestyle died out. That lifestyle within you needs to die out too. You got to grow out of it. And that's why she's and and what's fucked up about what she's doing is she's talking about a real murder case with real people involved, and what she's doing is completely unethical. Um, she's using her old fan base to to get people to listen to her, and she's using the Watts case to just try because she misses being that person that she was back then. She misses having all that hoopla. She misses having that significance, and she no longer has that significance. And so she saw that the Watts case was a popular case. She saw people were doing things on YouTube. She decided to insult Kay and start this whole movement of and jump on the Kay hating bandwagon. And then she built a bunch of subscribers doing that, and now she's just talking out of her ass, you know. So it's crazy that and it's funny to me that that's what's happening, and people don't see through it. I think that that's really really funny. And I don't think that she's losing her mind, Doodlebug. I think she's just a drug addict, you know. And she can't differentiate the psychosis that she experiences from her drug use and sleep deprivation, and and it's taking a toll on her theories involving the case that's already long closed, and there's 3,000 pages of evidence at her disposal that prove that the case is closed, that prove that everything that's to be established about that case is established. So, yeah, she was totally late to the. She came onto the Watts case like it was like, ha ha, here I am, and it was way like, dude, it was like just a couple months ago. It was like she came onto it when I was already sick of talking about it. Emery Page, live abuse free channel Zoe has everyone fooled. Okay, yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm. I don't think I'm interested in that. True, just a mama. I truly believe you can see a lot through the eyes. I feel like she is stuck in the Watts case because of something going on within herself. I feel like people became obsessed because they are deflecting. No, I don't think that's the case at all, just a mama. is it's exactly what I said. My opinion of her is because I saw it happen. I saw her talk about the Watts case and say absolutely nothing accurate about it. Um, and it was way after everything had already been established. That like the discovery, there were people that pretty much had the discovery memorized at that point. When she started talking about it, and what she was talking about was completely fucking wrong. And then she was just trolling Kay's lives, and then she started, uh, she saw that she could get popular by hating Kay because that was the thing to do. Um, and a lot of people were doing that. A lot of people were doing that. Limonade was doing that. Miss Jane was doing that. You know, and it's like it was just silly to me. And yeah, and so what she's doing is she's talking about this case, but she's talking. Uh, every theory that she has is based on complete and total misinformation. Yeah, the fact that she's accusing people in this oil company who had nothing to do with anything, and she's saying that the motive was money. Those people didn't have any money. They were in debt. There was no money. There's no money. It was ridiculous. Oh, wait. Okay, true. Emery Page. Okay, well, you and Zoe had battle after battle in the Facebook groups. She was banned, and you were an admin then, and you were kicked out. Now she has a 20K channel overnight. Wow. That doesn't surprise me at all. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest bit. Um, I mean, good for her. Right on. Um, yeah, yeah. She was a crazy shiner, man. That's a surefire way to get you a whole bunch of subs on YouTube is to be a shiner. That's for sure. And that lady was shining. That woman was shining, and yeah, she kept on. I remember her now totally too. This chick had a total hard on for me in that group. Man, every time I posted something, she'd troll my post. Every single time. Every time I commented something, she trolled me. Um, she would never post any thoughts of her own. She would just troll other people's thoughts. So, you can't sit there and shoot somebody's opinions down when you can't even make any of your own. And that was my whole thing with her. And that speaks volumes because she was basically she was trying to buddy up with. That was so funny. Oh my god, yeah, she was. I was an admin in this Watts group on Facebook, and uh, and right, Tara, right, yeah. I'm reading. Sorry, I'm reading your thing. Yeah. So Bree and Tara were the other admins. Bree, Tara, and I already forgot the other girl's name. Um, but Bree was a super duper shiner, right? She was like just a brewing secret shiner in the chat in the private chat for the admins, and Tara was super objective. I have nothing negative to say about Tara Wells. She was a fantastic admin. This girl did legwork in that group to post like shit, like every single update. like didn't come from news sources. She was in contact with the courthouse, and she was making sure that as soon as anything was filed, she was getting a hold of it, and then because it's public record, and she would post it in the group. She was the admin of group admins, a badass, and I was proud to be a part of her team. I felt out of place, to be perfectly honest, because she was such a badass at what she was doing. And Bree was she would totally troll things that I would say, and Zoe just totally crawled up her ass, and they teamed up trying to get. Well, Zoe was trying to like secretly team up with Bree to get. It was a lot of like group bullshit, which is why I don't belong to any Watts groups anymore. Again, because the case is closed. But I just couldn't stand the bullshit. I actually created my group on Facebook to be an escape for people who were sick of the bullshit from those other groups. That was the purpose behind that group. Like, because groups, like, it's crazy. Admins would get these weird power trips, man. Like, dude, you're the admin of a Facebook group, man. That's all you are. You're not a leader of anybody. You're not doing jack shit. It's you know what it is like? It's like being the king of LARP, of live action role play. It's like it's the nerdiest shit in the world. So to act like you're actually on some real high horse when you're an admin of one of these groups makes you a fucking dipshit. The only thing you're there to do is to basically moderate bullshit, not fucking, create it with your ego. And Bree totally started to do that. And I know that Zoe would try to take me on. What she was trying to do was she was trying to like debate me, find a debate in every single thing in the group, and I would shut her down every fucking time because she just wasn't good at it. She wasn't fucking good at it. And she was coming from a place of trying to take me on instead of coming from a place of trying to come up with a logical conclusion to a theory. And that's why she always lost. I was always seeking the truth when it came to the Watts case. And we're talking about before the guilty plea. We're talking about, we didn't know anything. We had very little information on the Watts case because they were amazing about keeping that shit out of the press. So people were kind of upset about it. I remember people were kind of bummed out, like and frustrated, and people were fighting because there were those of us who were posting things regarding Shanann and her not necessarily being the saint that everybody was making her out to be, and there was the possibility at the time that Chris was telling the truth. Now we all know that he wasn't. And we all know that he lied. I knew that he was lying from the moment that I saw him on the doing the press conference on the porch of the house. He was talking about his kids in a past tense. I was like, this motherfucker's he killed these girls, or he knows something. But there was the possibility at the time that Shanann had killed the girls and he killed her and he didn't know what to do. There was definitely that possibility at the time. I'm not saying it was a likelihood. I'm saying there was the possibility, and that possibility needed to be entertained with as little as we knew about the case. So I was very much on the whole thing of don't go crucifying this guy just yet because you don't know what the story is. He could be telling the truth. Like, I didn't think he was telling the truth, but he could have been, and I just wanted to leave those lines of possibilities open. I didn't want people to witch hunt this guy. and and she and I was very, and that was the thing, is I was very sarcastic, and I made a lot of memes, and I would drop a lot of giffies, and they didn't like that. Some people didn't like that. Some people, yeah, the word that people like to use to describe me in groups and who troll this channel, um, the word the Karen types, the Susan types, they like to describe me as their favorite word is snarky. That I'm snarky. Like it's such a Karen and Susan word to say. Um, so so that was their whole thing. I can't stand Will because he's so snarky. But I like the fact that I'm snarky. And and so yeah, Zoe just proved to be a troublemaker at some point, and then Tara ended up just booting her and kicking her out. And I was the guy that was like, we shouldn't boot anybody. I didn't want to boot anybody. I'm real big on freedom of speech. I don't believe in censorship. I did not want to kick her out. I didn't want to kick anybody out of the group. So now I gotta, yeah. Yeah, Doodlebug. It's funny. Yeah, they love to call me snarky. I love that shit. It's so funny to me because it's only a certain type of person that uses the word snarky to describe me, and they never fail to disappoint. All right, all right, guys. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna make my dinner, and then I'm going to be in Jay's chat. I'm excited about that shit. So I'm sure I'll see a lot of you there. And thanks a lot for logging on tonight. I had a real nice time talking to you guys. Sorry I didn't have anything real pressing to talk about, but I this is just one of those nights where I just wanted to come on and hang out with you guys. So thanks for being here with me and doing that. I really really appreciate it. Um, so again, yeah, Jay's live is coming up at 9. So make sure if you're subscribed to her to log on to that, and I will see you guys in the chat for that one. Later.